I stand before you today, humbled and filled with gratitude for your trust in a simple village boy who you have made the 7th President of the Republic of Zambia. Thank you so much to all of you Zambians. This victory is not mine, but for all the citizens of our great country, especially the youth who turned out to vote in great numbers with great energy. I shall repeat that. This victory is not mine, but it is for all you, the citizens of our great country, especially the youth of Zambia, who turned out to vote in great numbers with great energy and passion and made this day possible. Thank you to the youth of Zambia.
Hakainde Hichilema, Zambia's humble lion, Africa's inspiration. The man behind the name, humble beginnings. Before the presidency. Before the spotlight. Before State House. There was a young boy named Hakainde Hichilema, born in a small village in Mawasiliano, southern Zambia. No shoes. No luxury. But a vision that would move mountains. Raised by a mother who taught him the value of humility and a father who believed in hard work, young Hichilema walked barefoot to school for kilometers every day, never late, never tired. He believed that education was not a privilege, it was a mission. His brilliance would shine. He'd earn a scholarship to the University of Zambia, graduating as an economist, then soaring higher with postgraduate studies in the United Kingdom. But what's most inspiring? Hichilema never let success erase his roots. He would return to his community, building schools, clinics, and funding bursaries for underprivileged children long before politics ever knocked. The resilient fighter, arrested but unshaken. In 2017, Hakainde Hichilema was arrested in a dramatic and heavily criticized police raid. His crime? Refusing to give way to a presidential motorcade. For 127 days, he was held in a maximum security prison. But here's where leadership glows. While many would have been broken, bitter, or silenced, Hichilema emerged stronger, preaching peace, not revenge. Unity, not division. He would later say, "I do not hate those who imprisoned me. I understand them. I forgive them." His calm courage in the face of tyranny became a continental symbol of restraint and maturity, turning an ordinary politician into an extraordinary leader. The people's billionaire, wealth without corruption. Hakainde is one of the richest men in Zambia. But how did he build his empire? Not by looting. Not by political deals. But by investment in agriculture, cattle farming, real estate, and finance. He owns thousands of livestock and employs hundreds of Zambians in his businesses. He never flaunted his wealth. Instead, he built silently, paying taxes, creating jobs, mentoring the youth. And when he became president, he declared his assets. He refused to draw a presidential salary, because, in his words, public service is a sacrifice, not a business. But as we continue, from our hearts we at Herein-Africa family wish to thank you for always keeping the hope of a better Africa. Thanks for always finding some moments to keep up with us, we are really grateful. And if you're enjoying this reality story of one of our amazing leader, the current president and maybe the incoming president for second term so far, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and joining our growing YouTube family. We're building a community that loves learning, questioning, and staying informed, and we'd love to have you with us. Don't forget to hit the like button if this is valuable to you, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's get back to the story. Restoring Zambia's economy, a visionary in action. When Hichilema took over in 2021, Zambia was drowning in debt. The kwacha had collapsed. Fuel shortages were common. Inflation had crippled the economy. But he rolled up his sleeves. Within months, Zambia saw the return of investor confidence. The kwacha stabilized. He renegotiated Zambia's debt with international lenders, not with aggression, but with intellect. His leadership style? Consultative. Inclusive. Technocratic. He brought back brains into governance, restoring dignity to civil service and merit to public appointments. Today, Zambia's economy is rebounding. And it's not magic, it's management. The listening president, walking with the people. No sirens. No heavily armed escorts. No bulletproof jackets. President Hichilema walks the streets of Lusaka, shaking hands, listening to vendors, asking farmers what they need. When fuel prices rise, he explains it directly to the people. When youth demand jobs, he doesn't offer empty slogans, he meets with employers to expand internship programs. He visits schools. He holds town hall meetings. He invites criticism. That's rare in African politics. He doesn't rule, he leads. Education, health, and youth, his sacred agenda. Under his leadership, Zambia has expanded free education. Thousands of desks have been supplied. Over 30,000 teachers have been recruited. Hospitals are being refurbished. Nurses hired. New clinics constructed in rural areas where healthcare was once a dream. For the youth, he launched the Constituency Development Fund and youth business grants, supporting startups, agriculture, and technology. Hichilema doesn't see youth as a threat. He sees them as the future, and that belief runs through every policy he champions. Pan-African statesman, rebuilding Africa's global respect. President Hichilema isn't just transforming Zambia. He's reshaping how Africa is viewed globally. From peace missions in southern Africa to bold speeches at the United Nations, Hichilema has become a voice of moderation, democracy, and economic dignity for the continent. His meetings with US, EU, and African Union leaders have all carried one message: Africa must trade, not beg. He inspires other African leaders, not by lecturing them, but by leading by example. Legacy in motion, the lion's footprints. As we close this journey, ask yourself, what defines great leadership? Is it eloquence? Power? Or is it the quiet strength of a man who forgives his enemies, listens to his people, sleeps with no corruption on his conscience, and still greets a child in the village with a smile? Hakainde Hichilema is not perfect. But he is principled. Courageous. Transparent. Patient. Determined. And most of all, he is living proof that leadership can be honest. That humility is power. That Africa can rise, not by changing presidents, but by changing how presidents lead. This is not just a story about Zambia. This is the story of Africa's hope. This is the legacy of Hakainde Hichilema, the humble lion who roars with wisdom, walks with people, and leads with a heart. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you've learned something from this leadership. Just a request as we wind up that if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and joining our growing YouTube family. We're building a community that loves learning, questioning, and staying informed, and we'd love to have you with us. Don't forget to hit the like button if this is valuable to you, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.